Hello everyone, I am Ursula at Longmont Senior Center, and today I would like to invite you to practice with me gentle yoga with a chair. So what you will need for this practice is a chair that is sturdy, preferably without the sides. And you will need a few other props. A strap, it can be any kind of belt that you have at home. A block, if you don't have a block like this, you can perhaps find a book or a box. It needs to be also pretty strong so you can squeeze your muscles against it. And I have this ball that I use very often. It's a really nice tool to have at home, but if you don't have this ball at the moment, you can use a tennis ball. So if you are not quite ready for this practice right now, I will give you a moment to find your things, and of course a yoga mat as well. So please stop the recording and come back and start it again when you're ready. Okay, so when you're ready with your mat, your chair, and your props, take a moment, take a breath, and become centered. Become aware of the present moment. And before we start the practice, I would like to mention to you that this is your practice, so please adjust any poses to the ability and any limitations that you might have today. And as always, consult with your medical provider before starting any new exercise if yoga is new to you. So let's bring palms together and we'll rub them vigorously. So create some heat between your hands, create some traction there. And then we'll bring one hand on top of the other, left hand on your chest, right hand on top of your left hand. Relax your shoulders, relax your elbows. Close your eyes for a moment and relax your facial muscles. Feel your breath, feel your heartbeat, feel your pulses. And please set the intention for the practice today. My intention for you is to stay present throughout the time we are going to spend together, which will be about 45 minutes. And focusing on your breath and any sensations that you might feel so you can adjust your practice accordingly. And now bring your hands back down to your legs, and in a chair we will sit in a way that your spine stays long and straight. So if you are deep in the chair with your back against the back of your chair, please come closer to the front edge of the chair. So about 2/3 of your legs should be off the chair. And now lift your chest, relax your shoulders, and slightly lean forward with your chest in front of you, bending from the hips. So your pelvis tilts and you are maintaining the neutral curve in your lumbar spine. Now we will use this one of these balls, whichever you have, and we will roll the ball under the sole of the foot. So this ball is very stimulating to the feet, and the feet are our foundation. And also the ball helps to stimulate the fascia, which is a connective tissue. It's like a saran wrap that starts in your feet and goes all the way up towards the head. So once you stimulate the soles of your feet and the fascia there, your whole body will benefit. The fascia in the whole body will be stimulated. So we start from rolling from the big toe, the ball under the big toe, all the way to the heel, and then we move back to the ball of the foot, moving towards the pinky edge of the foot. So slowly roll the ball, putting some pressure on that ball so you really feel that stimulation. If there is any tenderness in your foot, please breathe and slow down. So with this gentle movement, you will release the tightness or whatever else might be causing the tenderness. And we will switch sides, switch feet, and we will do the same on the other foot. So again, breathe naturally and roll the ball under your foot. And when you're finished, we'll place the ball to the side and come back to a nice long spine again. Let's bring palms together. Inhale, lift your hands, stretch your arms, look up towards the ceiling, and as you exhale, separate your hands, spread the fingers away from each other, bring your hands down and drop the chin towards the breastbone, relax your head. So we will continue movement with the breath. Inhale, arms up, palms together, and exhale, hands down, forehead towards the fingertips, chin towards the breastbone. So this is our breathing practice today. Moving and breathing, coordinating breath with the movement, taking deeper breaths and slower movement. This is how we slow down the breath and connect the breath with the body. And we will do it one more time. Inhale, bring your arms up, bring your palms together and down in front of the heart. Relax your head. Feel a nice stretch in the back of your head, in the back of your neck. Inhale, draw your chin towards one shoulder. We will start towards the left shoulder. And exhale, draw your chin back down towards the center. And draw your chin towards the other shoulder. And slowly bring your chin down and lift your head up. Bring your hands to your legs. And now let's drop the left shoulder towards left ear towards the left shoulder. Let's bring the left hand to the right shoulder and keep the weight of your hand on the shoulder so the shoulder doesn't want to lift up towards the ear. And now keep relaxing your head and stretching the side of your neck. And now bring your left hand to your left shoulder, to your left ear, and lift your head up. Relax your hand. Inhale. Exhale. Bring your right ear to your right shoulder. Feel the stretch in the left side of your neck, and bring your right hand to the opposite shoulder so you can keep that shoulder down. And let your head be heavy. Let the gravity help you. Bring your right hand to your right ear and lift your head up. Bring your hand down to your legs and take a breath. Inhale, bring your arms up and reach with the fingertips one hand at a time. So we are lengthening the sides of our torso. We are creating more space in the rib cage. So from the waist down, you are nice and heavy, supported from the chair, from the ground. And from the waist up, your upper body is light like a feather. Keep reaching up, lengthening the spine. And now reach with both hands up. Have the thumbs, hook the thumbs And now reach with the fingertips up towards the ceiling. You can bend the elbows and try to bring the upper arms align with your ears if it's available to you, if your shoulders are okay with that. And now release your hands and bring your hands on top of your hips, on the hip bones here. Press your hands down and lift your sides up. So without lifting the shoulders are down, the sides are lifting up. And bring your arms down, shake your hands, shake your arms. We will stretch the shoulders and bring some mobility into the shoulders. So we will start with the left shoulder. Bring your left shoulder forward, up, back, and down. Bring your right shoulder forward, up, back, and down. And now let's bring both shoulders forward. Soften your chest, soften these pec muscles here that very often get tight from sitting a lot. And now bring your shoulders up towards the ears, all the way up. Draw them back towards the back wall and slowly slide them down. Activate your hands so your fingers, your hands will pull your arms and your shoulders down. Let's do it one more time. Bring your shoulders forward, soften your chest. Lift your shoulders up towards the ears, draw them back, and now slide them down. Feel the bottom of your shoulder blades sliding down towards the waistline, and your arms are growing with sliding down your shoulders. And now let's bring the arms forward. I will ask you, probably this is the only time that I will ask you to lock your elbows. So keep your arms nice and straight. This is not a big movement, so you don't need to try too hard. Inhale, reach with the fingertips forward, and on the exhalation with your straight arm, draw your shoulders back into the sockets. Inhale, reach with your fingers forward. Take the shoulders out of the sockets. And exhale, bring them back into the shoulder griddles. One more time. Inhale, reach forward. And exhale, bring the shoulders back and relax your hands down. Take a breath. Notice how your shoulders are feeling. Notice any stimulation in your shoulders, any sensations. Inhale, bring your arms up. Now we'll bring the left hand down to the side of the chair. Inhale, reach with the right fingertips up towards the ceiling, and as you exhale, bend to your left. Keep your left sitting bone still connected to the ground and your pelvis neutral, stable. Inhale, come up, reach with both arms up. Exhale, bring your right hand to the chair. Inhale, reach with your left hand up. And exhale, bend sideways. This time we are bending to the right. Feel this nice stretch in the left side of the rib cage. Inhale, come back up. Reach with both arms up. Interlace the fingers, reverse the clasp, and press your palms up towards the ceiling. Hold the ceiling with your palms. Get nice and tall. So you're supported from the ground with your feet, with your pelvis, so your upper body can be light and can create the ability to stretch and lengthen. And slowly release your hands and bring them back down. Let's bring hands to shoulders, and we will make a couple of circles with the shoulders just to relax them. And relax your arms down. Please bring your hands slightly farther away, maybe about a foot or so from your hips. Sit nice and tall and rotate your hands several times. So the movement really starts in the shoulder griddles. So you're moving your hands, but you're feeling the sensations in your shoulders. Yes, and adjust if you need to, if your shoulders are tight or tender, just make the movement smaller. And then you will increase each time. And now have your hands facing out. Lift your chest and come to a gentle back bend, lifting your chest up towards the ceiling and perhaps looking up if that's comfortable for your neck. And slowly lift your head, come back to a straight vertical spine, relax your arms. So let's move on to the lower part of our body. For that, we will use a block, so have the block handy. If you don't have a block like this, or if the block, because we will use the block between our thighs, or if the block doesn't feel comfortable, another way to do it is with a ball. And the ball, it feels perhaps less, creates less stimulation there. So let's have this handy, and we'll start with the left leg. So please hug your left knee to your chest, point and flex a few times. Yeah, so really stretch the front of your foot, and then when you flex, feel that stretch in the ankle and the tendon above your ankle. So nice pointing and flexing. Yeah, you might feel a little bit of cramping, that's natural. Then maybe you're stretching too much if that's happening, or it might be a different reason. Now we will do a few circles, and the other way. And now keep your foot flexed. Keep your left hand around your left knee and bring your other arm to the side. If this doesn't feel stable, please bring your hand to the chair and hold on to the chair. Lift the navel up, pull your belly button in so you're supported from the core. Inhale, and on the exhalation, bring your knee to the side. Yes. Notice the range of motion. And then bring your leg back with your knee pointing forward. And again, exhale, bring it to the side. Make sure that your right foot is connected to the ground, and bring your knee back. So this leg is part of the exercise. Keep it active. And open to the side, and bring it back. Now reach for your foot, and we'll rock the baby. So move your leg from side to side. Yes, loosen up this left hip. Slowly let the leg move in a way that it's comfortable for this position and for this left hip. And now we'll bring the ankle to the other side of your right leg. Continue having your foot flexed, and now have your left hand on your left knee, so the weight of your hand will help to bring the knee lower, but please don't apply any pressure on this knee. Inhale, get nice and tall again. Keep your shoulders on the sides, and on the exhalation, we will bend from the hip creases with the belly button towards the spine. And as you inhale, slowly lift yourself up. Keep your right foot connected to the ground. Inhale, exhale, fold forward, maybe a little bit deeper. Inhale, come back up. And exhale, we will fold once again. This time we'll stay here for a few breaths. So notice where your shoulders are. See if you can keep your shoulders down and on the sides. It helps imagining that you have a walnut between your shoulder blades and you're trying to hold that walnut in that spot. And when you're ready, press your right foot down to the floor. Inhale, lift yourself up with the strength of the core with the breath. And slowly bring your foot down and just notice how you feel. Notice the difference between one side and the other. Sit nice and tall. And we will go to the other side. So hug your right knee to your chest and point and flex the foot, this foot a few times. Yeah, so really do it intentionally. And now a few circles. Yeah, maybe you will hear some popping in the joint. It's common, it's actually good. Unless it hurts, it's good. It's the air that comes out. And now keep this foot flexed again, right hand around your knee and the left arm to the side, or the other version on the chair. So sit nice and tall. Feel the support from the core. Inhale and exhale. Bring your leg to the side. Make sure that this leg is active, that the knee is pointing forward. And bring it back. And bring it again to the side. Yeah. Notice the range of motion on this side might be different than on when we did it on the left. And one more, slowly with control. Bring it back. And now reach for the foot, and we will do this movement on this side. So it's a gentle movement from side to side. Another option is to make circles. You can make circles if from side to side is not enough. But you want to be very gentle and just pay attention to how your hip is responding. So you're not doing too much. And then bring the ankle across your left thigh, relax your knee, take a breath. Inhale, lift your chest, bring the shoulder blades towards each other so you have that walnut there between your shoulder blades. And as you exhale, fold forward, leading with your chest. And inhale, come back up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift your upper body up, slowly lift with the inhalation, and now on the exhalation, fold again, and here we will stay for a few breaths. So relax your upper body enough that you don't have to work very hard. You can even close your eyes so you can be more tuned into your body. And then when you relax, you will notice that you can get much deeper without putting a lot of effort. Inhale, slowly come up and hug your knee to your chest one more time and release your foot down. Separate your feet just a little bit wider so you can relax both legs in windshield wipers. And bring your feet back about hip distance. We will do one more thing in the chair that will be energizing. It will be our version of sun salutations. So this is the time where we will use the ball or the block. So please bring the block between your inner thighs and squeeze the block gently. So the purpose of this is engaging the inner legs, which are feeding into the core, but not too hard so your legs become tense. So you need to find your own way of doing it. And also your knees will be pointing up, pointing forward, so you don't have to think about this part. Inhale, bring your arms up. Exhale, bend your elbows, lift your chest, look up. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, bring your arms to a T and fold forward. Bring your hands to the floor, or if the floor is too far, use something under your hand, maybe another block, or even in this case, the ball will work. You can bring the floor closer to you. Inhale, bring your right arm out and up towards the ceiling for a gentle twist. And exhale, bring your hand down to the floor. Inhale, bring your left arm out and up towards the ceiling. And exhale, release your hand down. Inhale, bring your arms out like an airplane and lift yourself up with the strength of the core. Bring your palms together and down in front of the heart. Take a breath. We'll do it one more time. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, bend your elbows, lift your chest. Inhale, stretch your arms, lengthen your spine. Exhale, bring your arms to a T and fold forward. Touch the floor with the fingertips or whatever you have under your hands. Inhale, bring your right arm out and up. And exhale, bring your hand down. Inhale, stretch your left arm out and up. And exhale, release your hand down. This time, bring your hands to your hips with the elbows pointing up. Inhale, lift your head, your chest, lift the whole upper body up. Relax your arms, remove the block, and take a moment. We will be standing up, so please walk your feet closer to your chair so your knees are pretty much above your toes. Bring your arms forward, press your feet down to the floor, activate your legs, reach with the fingertips forward, reach with your chest, and very slowly start standing up. And now reach with the fingertips one hand at a time, as if you were reaching for tall branches, and you're lengthening from the heels all the way to the fingertips. Yes, you're lengthening the sides of your body. You're lengthening your spine, reaching with the crown of the head up. And now bring your palms together, down in front of the heart. Take a moment and notice, observe, and relax your arms down. So from here, we will come to a few standing poses, so you can clear your mat with whatever else you might have, and we will just have the chair at one end of the mat. So please stand a few inches away from the chair with your hands on the back of your chair. So feel the back of your chair under your hands, but try not to grip to it, okay? So stand nice and straight in mountain pose with feet about hip distance apart, toes pointing forward. Your knees are soft. You are supported from the core, so the navel is lifted up, the belly button is slightly towards the spine without gripping the belly, so you can still breathe naturally, so you can still use your diaphragm and the deep belly breath. Your chin is retracted, your jaw is retracted, so your chin is parallel to the floor, and your ears are right above your shoulders. So this is the basic yoga pose, and it's one of the most actually important poses because we stand a lot, and we can take this pose very often, even standing in the kitchen or looking through the window. So let's take a breath, and from here we will come to our version, chair version of down dog. Slowly start walking your feet away from the chair. So walk as far as you can with your heels still, so your heels will still be on the floor. So you don't want to be too far with your heels lifted. You want your heels to be on the floor. With your tailbone reaching back, and now separate your feet just a little bit wider than typically we would do in down dog, so close to the edges of the mat. And now see if you can soften your chest and drop your chest down towards the ground with the shoulders coming close, with the shoulder blades coming close to each other, with the shoulders away from the ears and your head between your upper arms. Soften your knees so you're not locking your knees, your joints. Inhale, lift your heels up so you're standing on the balls of your feet. And now exhale, bring your heels back down. Inhale, lift your heels up. Exhale, slowly bring them down. One more time. Inhale, lift your heels. And exhale, bring them down. Let's take one more full breath, relaxing the chest down. You can have your eyes closed. Breathe, notice how this pose is creating space in your chest. And slowly start lifting your head and walk towards the chair. And now please turn away from the chair and have your hands on the back of the chair again. Bring the shoulder blades towards each other. So you're a couple of inches away from the chair. Now inhale, lift your chest and look up towards the ceiling for a gentle back bend. So imagine that you have a string attached to your chest and it's lifting your chest up. And slowly lift your head, relax your arms, come back to a neutral position, which for us is the mountain pose. So let's turn back towards the chair. This time we will stand about a foot, maybe a little farther than a foot away from the chair, and you can adjust when we get to the pose that we are going to do. So when you're ready, inhale, stretch your arms up, get nice and tall. Exhale, bring your arms down, interlace the fingers at the base of the spine. Draw your hands down, bring the shoulder blades towards each other and look up towards the ceiling. Inhale, lift your head, relax your arms. Okay, so for our next pose, we will step maybe about a foot away from the chair, and you can adjust later when we get to the full pose with feet about hip distance apart. Inhale, stretch your arms up, and exhale, bring your hands back to the chair, shift your weight to your right leg and step your left foot about 2 feet away from each other, 2 feet distance. Inhale, stretch your arms up, and as you exhale, start bending from the hip creases, bringing your forearms on top of the chair with your forehead resting on your forearms. So now make sure that your hips are square to the front of the chair, and your pelvis is neutral. Both feet are equally pressing to the mat, so the weight is equally distributed on both feet. The belly button is in and your spine is long. Take a breath here. Inhale, start lifting your head up, soften your front knee and step the back foot forward. Take a breath. Inhale, stretch your arms up, lengthen, elongate the sides and your spine and bring your arms down. Now, if you need a chair, keep your chair handy and remember that you can always use it. Shift your weight to your left leg and step your right foot back. So again, about 2 feet distance. Inhale, bring both arms up. Exhale, start bending from the hips, especially from this right hip. Bring the forearms on top of your chair. And now see how your hips feel. Notice if your pelvis is neutral. Relax your head, close your eyes, take a breath. Inhale, start lifting your head, lifting your upper body up, and bring the back foot forward to come back to Tadasana. Okay, so please come back in front of behind the chair with feet hip distance apart. And this time, shift your weight to your left leg, bend your left knee, and step your right foot back to Warrior One. So please remember about the chair, that you can use it. If you don't need to use the chair, let go of the chair and bring your arms up above your head. And now you can have your arms parallel to the floor, arms parallel to each other, or you can have them in a V position, especially if you feel any restriction in your shoulders. Please separate your arms or even bend your elbows. Take a deep breath wherever you are. Lift your chest, feel your feet rooted down, feel your legs nice and strong, especially the back leg. The straighter the back leg is, the more strength you're building in this leg. Bring your arms down, step the back foot forward, take a breath. Bring your hands to the chair, shift your weight to your right leg, bend your knee, and step the other leg all the way back. It's about one leg length distance if you can get there comfortably. Press your feet down, feel the back foot as much connected to the ground as your front one. If you can let go of the chair, bring your arms up, and again, either parallel to each other in a V or bend the elbows. Lift the navel up so you feel the strength coming from the core. Straighten the back leg. Feel the pinky edge of the back foot still on the floor. Lift your chest, chin parallel to the floor. Bring your arms down, step the back foot forward. Relax your arms, relax your shoulders, come back to mountain pose. Get centered, get grounded through both feet. And we'll turn sideways. We will do one more pose, a standing pose. It's a balance pose and it's called a tree pose. So you can use the chair if you feel that your balance is not that great. We build balance as we practice. So this is perfectly fine. Wherever you are, just take care of your needs. So we will start standing on the left leg. So please transfer weight to your left leg. Bring your right hand to your right hip. Slowly bend your knee and lift your foot, lift your leg with your knee no higher than your hip joint. So make sure that this hip is not hiking up. You can use the index finger in the hip crease to soften this hip and stay level. And now bring the knee to point sideways and bring the sole of your foot against the shin, or you can even have a kickstand with the ball of the foot on the floor and the heel right above the ankle. If you feel really strong today and balanced, maybe you can bring the sole of the foot to the inner thigh, still with the knee pointing out, with the hips level. And the last thing you might want to try is to bring both arms up. If your balance, if you feel shaky, your balance is not great, just keep one hand on the floor and reaching with the other arm up. Find a fixed point somewhere on the floor in front of you and keep your gaze on that point. In yoga, it's called drishti. Keep your shoulders rolling down, keep your chest lifted, both sides nice and long. And slowly bring your hands in front of the heart, or one hand and the foot down. Relax both arms. Take a breath. And we'll switch sides. So you can either move the chair to the other side, or you can just, if the chair is too heavy, you can just turn the other way and listen to the cues. So we are standing with both feet on the floor again, and we'll shift weight to the right leg. Keep this knee straight, but not hyperextended, so just a little bit of a softness. Bring your left hand to your left hip, bend your left knee and lift your knee up. Keep your left foot flexed, and now start pointing your knee to the side. Bring the sole of the foot against your inner shin, or if you choose this version, keep the toes down. So usually, whatever you did on one side will work on this side, unless you need to accommodate one side for health-related reasons. When you're ready, inhale, bring your left arm up, and maybe you can bring the other arm up. And this is our full tree. You're reaching with your fingertips up, growing the tree towards the sky. Your standing leg is nice and strong. You build this pose from your foot, from the roots. This is why we worked on our feet at the beginning. And if you feel super balanced, make some wind and have fun with it. The worst thing is that you will have to reach for the chair. And slowly bring your hands down in front of the chest, the left foot down, bring your arms down, shake your legs, relax. And separate your feet just a little bit wider before we go down to sitting on the mat. Let's loosen up the pelvis. So make a few circles with your knees soft, and the circles can be bigger or smaller, whatever feels good for you. And it's great for the pelvic floor, it's great for the hips, and especially if you feel any tenderness in your low back, this is a nice, safe way to create some space in the back and perhaps let go of that tension that you might be carrying. And come up. So let's go down. We will take a couple of poses sitting directly on the mat. And I highly encourage you to use a blanket or a folded blanket, or maybe even a towel that is folded in a way that the front edge of that blanket feels nice and firm. And we will start with seated forward fold. So you want to sit at the front edge of the mat in a way that you almost feel like you're falling off that blanket. And this gives you this nice pelvic tilt and helps to maintain the integrity of the spine without putting too much effort into it. So if you have a belt, please bring that belt around the balls of your feet, and you can have your feet about hip distance apart. You can have them together. Inhale, take a nice deep breath, lengthen your spine, bring your shoulders to the sides so you're still holding that walnut between your shoulder blades. And as you exhale, walk your hands forward on that belt, bending from the hip creases and reaching with your chest forward. Now, if your hamstrings are tight or strong, bend your knees and do the same with your knees bent. So you're not overstretching your hamstrings, and perhaps this will help you to reach to the low back and stretch that part. Release your strap. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Sit nice and tall, a few circles with the ankles. And the other way. And slowly bring your arms down, bring your hands under your knees, lift your legs up and bring the soles of the feet together. Inhale, take a nice deep inhalation to lengthen your spine, and on the exhalation, bend again from the hip creases. This time, bring your hands around your feet with the pinky edges connected with the thumbs in the soles of in the arch sides, slightly opening them away from each other, and that sometimes helps to open the hips. And now pull your belly button in, round your spine, the whole spine, starting from the lumbar spine, and relax your forehead down towards your feet. Inhale, lift your head, lift your chest, lift your shoulders, come back to a long straight spine again. Use your core and lift yourself up. Bring your hands under your legs so you can lift them up. Separate your feet a little bit wider and just make a few windshield wipers. And come back to sitting directly on the mat. Keep your strap and your blanket handy. And we will recline down using the core and building the core strength. If this doesn't work very well for you, just come to lying down on your back in any way you can. So bring your arms in front of you, shoulders in the sockets. Inhale, lift your chest, get nice and tall. And on the exhalation, pull your belly button in, round the whole spine, dropping your chin towards the breastbone, and slowly with control, using the strength of the core, recline down, one vertebra at a time. Slowly bring your upper body down, stretch your legs, relax your arms. Take a moment here. Now we will be cooling down in some supine poses, but before that we will take 3 breaths, cooling breaths together. So please take a natural breath through the nose, in and out, and then inhale through your nose, open your mouth and exhale. Make it noisy. Inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Let it all out. One more on your own. Bring your lips together, breathe naturally, bend your knees, both knees, and now hug your left knee to your chest, stretch your right leg on the mat. Both feet are flexed, both legs are active. Inhale, hug your knee to your chest and lift your head with the forehead towards the bent knee. And exhale, slowly release your head and stretch your leg down on the mat. Hug your other knee to your chest. Keep both feet flexed. Inhale, lift your head, forehead towards the knee. And exhale, release it down, stretch the leg on the mat. Inhale, hug both knees to your chest. So now separate your knees away from each other. Keep the tailbone long, pointing towards the front. So it's not pointing up towards the ceiling, it's pointing straight forward. Hug your knees to your chest. Inhale, exhale, lift your head and bring your head between your legs. Make sure you're using the core to lift, that there is no strain in the neck. And slowly exhale, release. Bring both feet down on the floor. Let's use the block or the ball between your inner thighs, and we'll do a bridge pose. So walk your heels towards your sitting bones. Keep your arms down alongside the torso with your elbows soft or slightly bent, and plant your feet on the floor as if you were standing on your feet in mountain pose. So all 4 corners of each foot are connected to the ground. The mount under the big toe, the pinky toe, inside and outside of the heel. Let's keep it the whole time, okay? So squeeze the block between your inner thighs. Inhale, curl the tailbone and start lifting your hips, lifting your sacrum and then your spine, one vertebra at a time, until you're standing on your feet and your shoulders. Now your knees are pointing, reaching forward. So imagine that you have strings attached to your knees and someone is pulling these knees forward. And now your chest is lifting towards the chin. Take a couple of deep breaths. Don't worry about your hips, but continue lifting your chest. Relax your head. The back of the head is resting comfortably on the mat. Inhale, lift your chin, lift your chest towards the chin just a bit more. And on the exhalation, slowly with control, roll your spine down, one vertebra at a time. Slowly bring the spine down until the sacrum touches the floor, and then relax your low back in a way that the curve in the lumbar spine is there, so the lumbar spine is slightly lifting away from the floor. Now let's use the strap. Inhale, lift your knees towards your chest. And then bring the strap around the arches of your feet. Hold on with each end for one end of the strap and stretch your legs up towards the ceiling. So your knees can be slightly bent, but the straighter your legs are, the more stretch you will feel in the hamstrings. But really here it's an inverted pose, so our mission in this pose is to bring more oxygen into the heart, into the brain, to have the reversed blood flow, and also to stimulate the lymphatic system which runs towards the heart. And lymphatic system is essential in keeping the immune system working properly. So you can accomplish that with relaxing into this pose as much as possible and breathing deeply. So please pay attention to your breath, and even if it feels intense, maintain a steady breath. And if this doesn't feel comfortable for you, you can always come to the wall and have your legs or your feet against the wall, supported by the wall. And slowly bend the knees, release the strap, bring your knees towards the armpits and reach for the outsides of your feet. You can reach for the big toes, or you can even reach for your thighs if your feet are too far, and we'll come to happy baby pose. Rocking from side to side across the sacrum. It's a nice, playful movement. The chances are that nobody is watching you, so just have a good time and feel like a baby once again. Happy baby. And slowly release your feet, bring them down to the floor. And it's time for our final relaxation, Shavasana. So you're already on the floor. If you have any tenderness in your back, please use the blanket under your knees. So roll a blanket into a tight roll, like a burrito roll, and you can place it under your knees. You can really place anything under your knees, whatever you have handy. If you have blocks handy, you can slide the blocks. Now, another thing that you need to take under consideration is your head. If you feel that your head is falling back with your nose pointing towards the back of the room, and your forehead is lower than your chin, you want to support with your head with another blanket or a towel. And please bring your arms to the sides, a few inches away from your torso, with your palms facing up, the backs of your hands on the floor. Let your fingers relax. Relax your shoulders, your shoulder blades. Roll your head from side to side just a couple of times, and then find a good spot for your from your head to fall and stay this way for a few minutes. Feel the ground under your hips, under your legs. Feel the connection between your heels and the ground, and let your feet relax. Let them fall the way they naturally would want to fall without you giving them any directions. Close your eyes. Soften your facial muscles. So please take natural breaths and just tune into your breathing pattern. You don't need to change it. Just keep it the way it is. Everything is perfect. Your environment outside and inside, calm, peaceful. Your breath, smoother, softer. And your mind with more clarity to move on with whatever is waiting for you outside of the space and away from the mat. Please stay here for a few more moments and notice how you feel, and remember that you can come back to this space anytime you need to. You can come back to the mat, or you can come back to the feeling that you remember from the practice today. And slowly, please deepen your breath. Gently start moving your toes, your fingers. And then bend your knees, hug your knees to your chest one more time. Gently rock yourself from side to side. And roll yourself to one side to a fetal position. So in a fetal position, please bring your upper arm under your head like a pillow, so your head feels supported and your neck is not strained. You can bring your knees slightly higher, so you almost feel like a big fuzzy ball. Take another breath. Soak in this sense of being nurtured in the fetal position. And then with one hand in front of the chest, feel the ground underneath you and slowly start lifting yourself up. Come to a seated position. And again, if you have a blanket, please sit on the blanket so your hips are even or higher with your knees, and your spine can be nice and long. Your shoulders are relaxed. Bring your palms together, thumbs at the heart center. Take a breath. Lower your forehead down. Namaste. Thank you, and I hope to see you another time.